Phyllis Y. Whitley. Welcome to Spiritology Live, a raw, uncut, metaphysical, holistic space of consciousness for self-healing where you will learn how to break your religious shackles, master and manifest your promised land within so you can live in it today. My podcast is based out of my #1 Amazon bestseller author book called Spiritology. Let's go. Well, this is a podcast is based on my book. I'm just going to reiterate that this is not a Bible study. This is everything that I did say. I said literally raw and uncut. What I mean is some things I'm going to say it. Hey, I'm just going to keep it raw. I'm going to keep it real when it comes to the damage that the seed is doing in the church and the people's homes and stuff like that. If you don't know where I'm at, go back to my podcast. Let's give a shout out to all of those who started that podcast in 2022. Hello. We're going to dive right into it. Basically, I went to chapter 1 and then I went to chapter 2 in my book. And then I said, wait a minute, there was so much in each chapter that I literally want to go ahead and dive into to give you an understanding. I'm going to say again, you might take this as your Bible study, okay? The reason why I go into the scriptures, because the scriptures is proof. The scriptures are going back to your manufacturer. Why not go to your higher source? Well, I don't need the higher source or whatever. Well, do me a favor if you don't need it. Could you go up to the sun and the moon and I want you to place it over to the right-hand side? Oh, could you just stop the ocean for the wave and all of that? Can you do that? No, you can't do none of that. So I'm going to go to my invisible source, Supreme, God. Some people call him Jehovah. Lots of names, but make sure you give him the greatest name. With that being said, last week or the previous episodes, we went into the spiritual religious shackles. I'm going to go ahead and let you know a little bit about that. Let's recap the religious shackles. It's a seed. It's a seed that you grow into the ground. But the difference is instead of growing into the ground and growing into the pot, you grow it into yourself. It's a good seed and it's a bad seed. The good seed is gospel. It's a spell. It's a good spell of blessings. Gospel, God said, preach to everyone. No, you don't have to go on the pulpit. You can go and you can, whatever you specialize in, whatever is you. You know what? I don't specialize in anything. You know how many people was on YouTube, one of the greatest marketplace, and they are coming out that they would originally, if it wasn't for YouTube, nobody would have cast them. They would have never made it to Hollywood. And some of them just like cats. They doing everything about cats. They're pets. Some of them are just saying, hey, let me let you know, I got stuff for your face, makeup, beautiful lipstick. I got stuff. Hey, I'm an African-American woman and it's not a lot of products out there for me, beauty products. So guess what? I'm making the beauty products. It's people who is making detergent. I learned how to make detergent. Well, that don't make any sense. It does make many sense because you know why? You are helping a community. Some people are helping a small community and some people go around the world and help a large community. You look at YouTube and they're showing you how to fix things. It's people that's showing you how to cook. You would have never known about a person who cooked. Maybe this particular person you can relate to. Maybe they got comedy in their cooking and it's some people I look at it, I'll be cracking up. I'm not going to give them any shout out. There's a couple of them I look at. With that being said, I'm just letting you know, first of all, you have a gift. God said your gift should make room for you. So don't let nobody tell you. Remember I told you about the seed? That seed, demonic seed, is everywhere. It's in the spiritual leaders. We are not here to bash the spiritual leaders. Well, Miss P, why are you always talking about the spiritual leaders? Because the spiritual leaders are out there. This is where the seed is corrupt. It's also, if you go and you read my book, it's also everywhere. Politicians, in the courthouse, Hollywood. So we are going to get to that later. But right now, the spiritual leaders are the ones you trust, the ones you look up to. And when you scarred by somebody in a courtroom, you scarred by your teacher, you'll carry that. The biggest scars when you scarred by your parents or you scarred by family members or even the spiritual leader, because the spiritual leader makes you say, hey, wait a minute. I am not dealing with nothing to do with God. I think I talked about Jim Jones, and I remember seeing that documentary. Uh, I seen it, excuse me, I got tongue tied because I don't like to go back there. That documentary was beyond, it left me shocked. And it was just showing you how a religious leader planted a seed in so many people who didn't know. If you don't know, you don't know who is spinning you and turning you around. That's why I heard someone said it's a religion. I'm not even going to give them credit. They go out there and they'll knock at your door and they can sit back and turn you right around because you know why? You don't know the manufacturing book. So you don't know if somebody come and tell you a lie. Now I give you the scriptures because the scriptures are literally proof, is my backup. So with that being said, Jim Jones led so many people with a lion seed, demonic seed, and they believed him. And some of those people that lived, they went back and they just like, I don't want to look, don't even out of God who, God what? Because see, the spiritual leaders, that seed sits there because it can knock you. It can knock you away from God. That seed that was in a garden, in a snake, just wanted to knock them from God. You knock from God, you can't get in that promised land. Israelites walked through that promised land. Well, they was walking toward the promised land and they took a trip that could have lasted for days and it last for years. With that being said,